Bhante, I think this is a very important sutta, especially in the modern context, especially in the Western context,
Mm,
where there's this hyper individualistic uh, perspective, right? Culture
yeah, yeah,
about me, myself, and I, and pursue your dreams and my rights and my privileges and everything's me and mine, right? It's all
yeah.
what can you do for me? What can my parents do for me? Like your parents are basically like your servants, right? And your teacher is your servant. And when you go to the cash register, right, at Target or Starbucks, that person working there, you treat them like a servant. Most people do. They don't really acknowledge them. They don't connect with them.
Mm,
It's a very self-centered perspective that we have right now, and it's not unique to the West anymore. It's global, right?
mm,
Everyone's just looking out for themselves. The old saying, "It's a dog eat dog world." And then
yeah.
so then when people come into the Dhamma, I've noticed I was guilty of this myself in the beginning. It was for me, my suffering, right? My happiness. I was coming to the temple to get something, to take something, right? And you see this in the West with the Buddhism becoming secular, secular mindfulness, right?
Mm,
They took from Buddhism, which is good, they can take, we're giving it freely,
mm,
but then they use it for their own personal gain, right? To make money, to sell books, to courses, big retreats, to become a famous, create a mindfulness empire, right? And things like that. The mindfulness industry is in the billions of dollars now. When you look at meditation, mindfulness, it's a $1 billion industry in the entire world. So it's all about them, right? It's
yeah,
all about themselves. But here we see that it's not about ourselves, right? We
yeah.
don't live alone in this world. We depend on others. That's what we have to remember, right? One of the reflections for the monks, my life depends on others.
Mm,
Right? This is something that a monk should frequently recollect from day to day, right? So also all of us, even if you're not a monk, if you're a regular person, you didn't grow your own food. You're not working in the farms anymore, right? You didn't make the canals for the waters to come to your cities. You're not the truck driver bringing the food into the markets. You're not the person who's working in these difficult conditions, making your iPhones and computer processing chips and all these things. Like
mm.
without all these things, I mean, most people nowadays, they don't know how to change a tire, right? They
Mm.
don't even, some people, young people don't even know how to cook. Like if it wasn't for other people, they would die, like they can't survive on their own.
Yeah.
So if our life depends on others, it is in our own interest to be kind and to be gentle, to kind of show some sort of gratitude to those people who make our life possible, right? Not only in our own neighborhood, in our own house, but throughout the world. All these people, when I was in Cambodia and Vietnam and Sri Lanka, I see people that make our life possible in the West, right? These are the people that are doing some of the jobs that we don't want to do. And without them doing those kind of jobs, we wouldn't be able to live very comfortably in Canada or Australia or in America and these kinds of things, right? So we have to pay it forward. We get all these benefits, right? We get all these beautiful things from all the people around us. And we should, if we can't give back to them money or do something, at least we should be nice to them. At least we shouldn't speak bad about them. All those terrible countries, those terrible people over there, they're backwards with cruel words and very discriminative, kind of harsh words towards people around the world, right? We should recognize what they're doing for us and at minimum not say anything bad, and if we can, say nice things about them and show appreciation and kindness. So I
Mm,
think when we look at the example that the Buddha gave us for the monastic order, we can extend that into the lay people, the Buddhist community. We can extend that to our neighbors and friends and colleagues. We can extend that to nations, to the continents, and the whole universe, right? All beings. So it's such a beautiful message. It's setting an example, right? A precedence. Like this is the standard. Now we can all try to follow that standard to the best of our ability. And the honest truth is that we're all going to fall short. So we have to accept that we're not going to be perfect, right? And we're all going to have a hard day and have a hard time, and we're going to say something foolish, and we're going to make a mistake. So we also have to be kind to ourselves, the self-compassion, right? The
yeah,
kindfulness, as Bante in your book, Kindful, right? In Kindful Canada. We need to bring, that's what Bante is doing. You're bringing this message to Canada, Bante, to be
yeah,
kindful. You're already doing this. So we need kindful America, kindful Australia, right? Kindful North America, South America, Europe, Africa, everything, Asia. We need a kindful world, Bante. That's all I wanted to say.
no, thank you. Actually, that's so true.